welcome to day number 1 of the Rising Strong book club. I read the first 2 chapters last night. The first 2 chapters are where we're going to be kind of camped out today, and I was so challenged and convicted and inspired by it. I posted on my Instagram. My Instagram is instagram.com/themoneysavingmom. I'm themoneysavingmom on Instagram, and I posted a picture saying I had underlined and dog-eared so many pages, and this book, I can tell it's going to mess with me in such a good way. I've read all the three others of Brene Brown's books and been so challenged and personally impacted in a way that I will never be the same again. And so I was really excited to read her book Rising Strong because it looked like exactly what would challenge me right where I am right now, and absolutely that has been the case. The first 2 chapters, I'm like, if I just read the first 2 chapters, I feel like that would be enough, but I can't wait to see what else is in there. Okay, so one of the things that I really took away from the first 2 chapters was she talked about how so much of the time we kind of exalt failure as a great thing. And I know I've done this where we talk about you have to fail, and I talk about success is from standing on a pile of failures. And I don't think there's anything wrong or incorrect with that, but what she talks about how sometimes we kind of dismiss the hurt and the pain and the heartache that failure brings. And I was reading this yesterday, and I really personally could relate to that because this year there have been some kind of big things in my life that I can't talk about publicly that I thought I was so excited about, and it was something that I thought that this was going to just really, it was just a big thing that I was so excited about. And then I have watched over the last 3 months as those things have literally crumbled in pieces and just been really hard. But I'm the kind of person where I just wanted to kind of push through and be like, okay, that's what it is. I'm gonna move on. And that is good in a sense, but I think we also need to recognize and acknowledge the hard things that come, and the hurt and the grief. And sometimes we have to grieve, or a lot of the times we need to grieve those hard things and not just try to move on and kind of stuff them under the rug. So I wanted to read these 2 paragraphs that I found to be very challenging. She said, both The Gifts of Imperfection and Daring Greatly, those are her other 2 books, are a call to arms. They are about having the courage to show up and be seen, even if it means risking failure, hurt, shame, and possibly even heartbreak. Why? Because hiding out, pretending, and armoring up against vulnerability are killing us. Killing our spirits, our hopes, our potential, our creativity, our ability to lead, our love, our faith, and our joy. I think these books have resonated so strongly with people for 2 simple reasons. We're sick of being afraid, and we're tired of hustling for our self-worth. And I think that's so true. We are tired of hustling for our self-worth. You asked what the failure was. Unfortunately, I can't speak about it publicly because it involves some other people. That there are actually multiple things, and they involved other people that it's not my story to share, but it has impacted me, and I've been very involved on a very close level with the story, but it's not my story to share. Otherwise, I would be more than happy to share. Okay, so then this. Let's see, this one. She talks about this is still in the introduction. She said, there are too many people today who, instead of feeling hurt, are acting out of their hurt. Instead of acknowledging pain, they're inflicting pain on others. Rather than feeling disappointed, they're choosing to live disappointed. And I think it's our response to these things in our life. What is our response to these hard things in our life? Are we acting out of that pain? Are we living disappointed instead of feeling? And we need to acknowledge our hurt, but then work through that. Okay, this was such a good quote. We can choose courage or we can choose comfort, but we can't have both. Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's our greatest measure of courage. She also talks about we need to be selective about the feedback we let into our life. For me, if you're not in the arena, I'm not interested in your feedback. And she quotes the Teddy Roosevelt quote about being in the arena that actually Daring Greatly came from. I was going to see if I could find it for you because it's such a great quote. I don't know if she has it here. I'll have to find it for you and share it with you tomorrow because it's such a great quote. So those are just, there's so much that I pulled out from the first 2 chapters that really challenged me, and it caused me to step back and look at the last 6 months of my life and some of the heartache and the failure in the sense of like something that I had poured a lot into and thought was going to really be a big change, make a big impact, and really help me be able to kind of simplify my life, ended up turning into some really difficult things and kind of drama and just hard things. And so I looked at that and I thought, I've kind of been just pushing through and trying to push through that instead of stopping and really grieving how much that hurts and how hard it was and how much it hurts, and I have to grieve that loss of what I thought was going to be and what isn't. And so acknowledging that and being vulnerable about that instead of just being like, I'm strong, I can do this, I got this, I'm just going to power through. But no, I think to take that time to acknowledge those hurts, to acknowledge the disappointments and how it feels, so that way we can process it and then rise strong out of it and rise above it so that we are stronger as a result of it. So that's what I took away from the first 2 chapters. I will be doing a blog post later on MoneySavingMom.com with my takeaways, and I'd love for you to come and share. If you are reading Rising Strong with us, I'd love for you to come and share on there as well what your takeaways were from the first 2 chapters, and I'll see you tomorrow where we'll be talking about the next 2 chapters. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope you have a wonderful day.